It is morning meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week just about, talk about what's going on in the world of weather, hopefully getting your day started off on the right note. Top two things we are watching today. First and foremost, getting you ready for the work week. We are looking at the rain chances, and we are watching, as we speak, an area of low pressure trying to develop out in the Gulf of Mexico. Could something tropical be forming? Have to wait and see. But before we get to all that, let's just take a live look outside, see what's doing. This is a beautiful shot, the vehicle assembly building. There are two launches this week from either the Kennedy Space Center or the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. Not today, but later this week. I believe, is it Thursday and Saturday? I have to double check that. But at any rate, we've got a couple of launches set for today, for this week. So hopefully we'll have great weather for that. Temperatures out the door, warm and muggy. And as I'm coming on the air here, the FAA reporting volume and staff issues starting to delay flights over at Orlando International Airport. Volume is always fun. Staffing is a big issue. Let's just check and see while we're chatting, and since that just came in, let's see what the flight status board looks like. For now, only 4 delayed flights. But if the FAA is posting an update on it, you can probably bet that those flights are going to be backing up a little bit more here over the next couple of hours. All right, so it's a warm, muggy start. Here's a look at first warning live Doppler radar. There are a few showers out on the Gulf Coast, but we're good, at least in our area for now. So where do we go from here? Well, a couple of showers in the forecast these next couple of hours. Then we'll watch those rain chances rise. Notice, like yesterday, it's going to be an earlier start, 1 p.m., 40% coverage of showers and thunder showers. That continues through the afternoon, and by about dinner time and beyond, we will start to clear things out little by little. So there's that. Another early start, which it was different. So it's not that one was better or worse, but at least it was one that we were prepared for yesterday. We're going to be prepared as well. Dana, good morning. Happy to see you on here again. Hope you're feeling better. Thank you. Little stomach bug. Got Eric, got me. Thankfully didn't get the rest of the family, but thank you for your patience as we skipped some coffee talk last week. I tried to rebel on using Facebook, but I need my coffee talk. Well, listen, Beth, we're also on YouTube. We're also on Twitter, so you can find us on several platforms. Make a good morning to you. Thank you very much. Last week was all out of whack. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. I slept in. You know what I mean? Yeah. And, even when I go on vacation or things, I do coffee talk, but if you're not feeling good, you're just not feeling good, right? Tasha, good morning. Can you tell me how Crystal River's looking this weekend going scalloping? Well, we'll talk about rising rain chances for this upcoming weekend, but for now at least, we're watching a few showers in that area. Now, in terms of the forecast, here's where we're going. Just like yesterday, we'll get to about 92, 93 degrees or so in the metro area. Notice out west, Ocala's at 89. We're at 91 in the Villages. That's where the rainfall starts and then works off to the east, which is why temperatures are not as high in Ocala, because you don't have as much time to heat up, whereas Sanford's at 94, you've got a little more time to heat up. So that's kind of the way that all plays out. In terms of futurecast, let's take a look. We'll begin this morning and kind of take you through. Here's lunchtime. Notice our western areas again. Denellen, Rainbow Springs, Marion Oaks, Ocala, the Villages, Rutland. We'll be watching those showers in the area, okay? All right. Just after lunchtime, they start to work in toward the Villages, even a few showers up toward Palm Coast and Flagler County. By 4 p.m., knocking on the doorstep of the metro, you can see some heavy rains approaching the Four Corners, the tourist district, Claremont, Leesburg, Howey in the Hills, Montverde. By about 5, 6 o'clock, it's getting into West Orange County, getting into the metro. And then by about 7, 8 o'clock, it all focuses on our East Coast, which is why even our East Coast beaches are seeing warm temperatures today. I mean warm as in above average. Now, all of that said, rain chances these next couple of days kind of tapering down just a little bit. Yesterday was stormier than today. Today will be stormier than tomorrow. Then by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we start to rise the rain chances up once again as more moisture moves into Central Florida. So we are in a fairly active pattern, but you don't even need to take my word for it. Just look at the satellite, and the radar. This is there's a really interesting little dynamic happening here, okay? So first and foremost, in our area, we're nice and quiet, right? But just north of us, there's actually a cold front, an old cold front. It's not going to be bringing any colder air, but there's an old cold front. And the Hurricane Center is noting that pressures are starting to fall out over the Gulf of Mexico, okay? There's nothing organized out there, but if pressures are starting to fall, it lets you know that something is trying to brew. Now, we talked about this a bit yesterday. Certainly, we talked about it at 6 a.m. this morning when we did a quick Tracking the Tropics update. But we're going to talk about the tropics. That's our other big story. Wide perspective of the southeast United States is quiet. But over these next couple of days, we're going to be watching the Gulf of Mexico. Think of this as a backyard storm system of sorts, a home brew of sorts. Essentially, we've got that cold front in the vicinity, and what happens oftentimes during early hurricane season is you get these fronts that fade, but a piece of that energy sits out over the warm waters. And when that happens, you have to watch out for tropical development, especially if tropical conditions are favorable, such as warm ocean temperatures and things like that. So that's kind of where we're at, interestingly enough. Over the next 2 days' time, not expecting any development. But over the course of the next 5 days' time, like over the week, there may be something. 30% likelihood of this getting going. And this is the only game in town when it talks about the tropics, okay? There's nothing in the open Atlantic, happy to say. But there's something to watch. A couple of things here. No need to freak out. It's not going to be a monster, okay? These homegrown systems are oftentimes popping up and popping down. They don't really do much, okay? There'll be a system for a day, a couple days, a couple hours. They're just big rainmakers. And as a matter of fact, to that point, look at the rainfall forecast here across the Deep South, right? For us, normal shower and thunderstorm development, but you get into the panhandle, rain chances are a little higher. You get up toward Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, kind of that northern Gulf Coast, we're talking about a half a foot or more of rainfall. So, big rainmaker, you know, a lot of the climatology in these areas does depend on these weak, organized sometimes, unorganized sometimes, tropical systems, okay? Bobby, is that system in the Gulf going to bring wind and rain to past Christian, Mississippi? I would say for now, it's going to be a big rainmaker for a big area. We don't really know what's going to happen. If it tries to develop, it would condense in on itself. And you know, that's something that is yet to be discovered, right? If we look at the wider perspective, you can kind of get an idea of what's happening. The majority of the activity, right, is out over the Big Bend and the Panhandle. That's what it looks like right now. It is not organized. We're not concerned about it rapidly intensifying. But over the kind of gradual process this week, we could see tropical cyclone genesis. Beverly's asking, Florester. It could be the Florester. Mickey over on YouTube. Is this the Florester recycle? What's the BSR showing? The BSR wasn't very bold on anything, which then does support the idea of a homegrown system like this. If it's the Florester, though, it is coming a little early. I'll tell you that. Now, one thing I do want to point out, if we widen the perspective, okay, before we talk about the Florester, let's just take a moment and talk about this area of low pressure kind of off the mid-Atlantic and the northeast. That was a part of our long-range forecast that we were discussing. Give me 1 second and I'll dial this up. The October 24th, 25th, 26th storm system, early to mid-July. So that's playing out right on time. the question is, does the pattern tighten up a little bit here and we get the floor-easter a little early? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Right now, there's just moisture out there. But we'll look at Futurecast, right? And we'll have to kind of analyze and see. One way that we can do that, let me go off, not off script, the whole coffee talk is off script, but let me go off of what I was planning on doing. So let's just dial up the surface feature here for the floor-easter. That was November 6th. Stand by. November 6th, 2021. Okay, so there's the floor-easter. Hold on, let me pop this out. Make it a little smaller. All right. So shrink you down. So what you're looking at is the way that I archive or pull up archive weather data, right? So that is November 6th. But I logged it as November 6th, but it was already across the peninsula. If we go to the previous day, it was out November 5th. It was out in the Gulf of Mexico. So what will be interesting is to take and try to case study. That's November 5th, 2021. To case study and see, is there a big storm system entering into the Pacific Northwest? Let's look at the GFS. U.S. state. Is there a big storm system heading toward the Pacific Northwest? See, this is the way that you can kind of check your homework, right? Yeah, late this week, if you look, there is that storm system there approaching it's a little further north into Canada. This is the surface pressures. And so what you're trying to do is you're just trying to compare and contrast and see. Yeah, but if you look at that. November 5th, there's that storm system up near Canada, right? And if we look at the floor-easter, or if we look at the model data, that low is there. There's even a low, you see that little low over California? I think I saw that on the map as well. Yeah, there was a low near California. Oh, I hit the wrong button, hold on. Yeah, there was that low near California there. So this very well may be the floor-easter. We could compare the 500 heights too, if we wanted to get super analytical. Here, hold on. I know you're commenting and I'm not taking the comments at this time. Give me a few seconds. All right, so the 500, let's just compare upper air heights, 500 anomaly. All right, so let's just compare the 500 heights. So you can kind of see a trough up near the Great Lakes. A trough, yeah, I mean, honest to goodness, it kind of fits the floor-easter pattern. You see that up near the Great Lakes, that blue dot near the Great Lakes there? If you look at the actual floor-easter, there was a trough up there. So yeah, this very well may be the floor-easter. And this is how I do it. I know that I'm getting into super nerd stuff here, and I apologize, but the way that you determine if this is a particular feature is you look at that. Like, there you go. That's November 5th, 2021, when the floor-easter first cycled through. And it looks like it may fit the pattern. So yeah. All right, now I can start talking and taking your comments. I apologize for that. But anyway, so that'll be interesting to see. All right, well, let me take some of these comments, and then we can start analyzing data a little more here. I don't want to leave you all out to dry here. Aaron, was the floor-easter the same system that brought us the tornado outbreak in Southwest Florida? I believe it was. my buddy Andrew Shipatofsky, who we've had on Coffee Talk before, when he was out in Texas. He's now in Southwest Florida. I'll have to ask him. I can go back and look at the notes. LRC fact sheet. I believe it was. Give me a second to find this out. It was November. Okay, Floor Easter. That was cycle day 28. The next cycle day 28. Yeah, there was some severe weather in Florida. The next cycle day 28. The next cycle day 28 would be, next cycle day 28 would actually be the 18th, 19th, 20th. Yeah, so actually this isn't that early. If it forms late this week, it's not that early. It'd be a couple of days early. Yeah, like around the 18th, 19th, 20th. That's not... All right, so we're actually, we're actually not that early. All right, interesting stuff. The timing has been a little off all year so far. It's just kind of, with such a long pattern duration, it speeds up and it slows down. And that I've learned is a difficult thing. This is the longest pattern that I've ever followed. So, yeah. Let's see here. All right, I'm getting caught up with your comments here. Andrew says, I'm hoping for no major hurricane activity here in eastern Canada this late summer. We got hit hard with Hurricane Larry last September. Well, let's hope not, right? Right? If the Floor Easter is confirmed, that'll be every headline this week. We love that word. I know, right? Yeah, if that's the case. It looks like it's that pattern. It does look like that pattern for sure. Beverly, pray we can get through the Floor Easter so you can enjoy your conference. I would like it. I would like to be able to. But again, if it comes in a little early, then that's not a problem either. Millie, go be good. Have a good one. Yeah. See you, Frankie. Tom, if it is the Floor Easter, at least at this point, it doesn't seem too big, and that's the key. If it's the Floor Easter part of the pattern, it could just be an area of low pressure and nothing more, right? It doesn't have to be anything developed at all. So, for what it's worth, right? We need the rain indeed. Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Not me again over on YouTube. I appreciate it. I missed you guys too. Look, I just wasn't feeling up to it, if I'm honest with you. Sometimes when your body tells you, you got to listen, right? All right. So it looks like it may want to be the Floor Easter. Let's look at the model data. All right. Give me a second to turn this around. Oceanic. We'll switch over to the Gulf of Mexico. All right. We'll switch over to surface pressure anomaly. Okay. All right. So what are the models showing? Well, if you watched us at 6 a.m., we did a Tracking the Tropics update, and we showed the 0Z model data. Okay. This is the 6Z. So this is the brand new model coming in. All right. All the blues that you see there on the screen, that's lowered pressure. And that's indicating an old front, right? We know that. That's absolutely the weather plan right now. Stormy weather over Texas, Louisiana. But if you look, the GFS in the 0Z run did not show any low pressure, whereas here on the 6Z run, it's trying to throw something together there. That's Tuesday off the coast of Louisiana, like Grand Isle, and then it brings it in. So the GFS is trying to show something, but it doesn't really do much. And then look, by the time that it's in, and there's not really an opportunity for much development, which is super cool with me. And just continuing through the weather pattern, it's pretty much dry thereafter. We'll just continue it all the way through. Not really much. High pressure, not really much. All right, cool. So let's switch over to the European. All right, European is almost done coming in for 6Z. But remember, the 6Z only goes out 90 hours. So there's only so much that we're going to be able to see. But let's roll through. Not much. There's Wednesday. There's Thursday. And that's the end of it through Friday. So the Euro's at least not trying to do anything on the 6Z. But if you go back to the 0Z, it was trying to do something right here. You see that? Around the 15th, 16th. Right at the shoreline. That timeline does fit the floor Easter. The position's a little off. We'll have to see how that plays out. Remember, computer models are guidance, not gospel. This is what we have for the floor Easter. We highlighted the coastline of Florida and gave you that late July time frame because it's supposed to be around the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th. If we look at the actual calendar, this is where we've got, right? Watching Florida around the 20th, 21st. Probably should have shifted that to the 18th, 19th based on my raw calculations, but that's okay. If it comes in a little early, it comes in a little early. But yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at. So it's interesting. At the very least for right now, we're just watching those pressures lowering. And there's not really much more than that. 30% chance it gets going. Yeah. Let's see here. Any other questions? Looks like a lot of Saharan dust. Tom, a lot of Saharan dust, which is a good thing for sure. I'm traveling today from MCO. How does it look for the tropics? The tropics are fine, but MCO, not as good. Yeah, MCO is not as good. Here, let me... Give me 2 seconds. The FAA actually just posted an update saying that due to staffing and volume, departure delays are starting to run on average 31 to 45 minutes delayed. So know that. The airport is a little dicey, a little Andrew Dicey Clay today. Thank you, Pat. Appreciate it. Keep it north and west, please. I wasn't ready. Yeah. Well, look, it doesn't look like it's, if it is the floor Easter, it doesn't look like it wants to be strong this cycle, which is the good news, right? All right, back here at home, Central Florida's certified most accurate 7-day forecast, showing a 50-50 shot of seeing rain today. Leveling off today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, normal rain coverage. Giddy up. Afterward, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're looking stormier than average. Yeah, showers and thunder showers certainly around. All right. Today I'm doing the noon and 4 newscasts. Tomorrow I am doing some, am I doing a newscast or am I just in the office? Hold on. Today, noon and 4. Yeah, tomorrow I'm just dayside. And then on Wednesday, Kellyanne has a shoot, so I'm actually in the office. I'm doing the 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. newscasts on Wednesday. So Coffee Talk will be in the studio on Wednesday. All right? But what's nice for me is I don't have to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning for that morning shift. I'm just doing a couple of hours of morning shift. Love that. Debbie says, I love meeting up on a Monday with Coffee Talkers. It's nice to have us little group together, right? I love it. Tom, airports are always a mess now. I've not traveled since the pandemic started. No, I take that back. I traveled last year very briefly. I've not traveled this year. Next week will be that first time heading to Boston. So I don't know what time I'm going to get to the airport next week. I don't know what that's going to look like, but I don't know that I'm excited about it. Gabby, since this is supposed to be the stronger cycle of the floor Easter, does that mean the next one will be even weaker? That is just a working theory, Gabby. I don't know. That's one of those things that we tried that this year to talk about, but it's just, we'll have to wait and see. That's it. We're just going to have to wait and see. Rose, giddy up. Always plan on leaving early at MCO, yeah. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate it. Most importantly, thank you very much. Thank you. Jessica says, send all the labor-inducing vibes. 9.5 pregnant in this heat. It's for the birds. Oh, gosh. 9.5 months pregnant? Is that what you're saying? Or are you 9.5 centimeters pregnant? What are you saying, Jessica? We'll send all the labor-inducing vibes. But if you're 9.5 months pregnant, I think that's a little more concerning. Oh, really? I guess that's a guy thing. I had no idea. 10 is technical? Well, giddy up then. Listen, Jeannie couldn't keep a baby in her to save her life. We had both kids I joke that I waited for my car longer than I waited for either of my children, because neither one of them stayed even 8 months, right? Alexander was born a month early. Yeah. You just need to come into the Wesh studio. Just be around me, because I'll throw you right into labor. And it's not because of good looks. Believe me, anybody can tell you that. But Jessica says 9.5 months. Human gestation is 10 months. I had no idea that. That's a guy thing, right? Like, I thought it was 9 months. Why does everybody think it's 9 months then? The way they advertise it? I'm 38 years old with 2 kids, and I didn't know human gestation is 10 months. What? It's crazy. I love the LRC theory, because even if we have 20 named storms, it doesn't matter. Where they hit and recycle is what matters. Agreed. Agreed. Yeah. It's all working theory. But if you think about it, isn't weather forecasting just working theory? Now, you could talk to the meteorological purists who will tell you that's not theory. Then tell me why you get it wrong as much as you get it right. It's not really that bad, but you get the idea. Like, if it's not a working theory, then why do you ever get it wrong, right? The whole thing is a working theory. Jessica says because you typically find out at a month pregnant, so you have 9 left. That's right. That's right. Because when you take the test and they're like, oh, you're 5 weeks pregnant, you're like, what? You're right. Thank you, everybody. Nobody ever said I was the smartest. You know what I mean? Even a broken clock is right twice a day. Mercy says that's because you don't have to worry about carrying them. That's true. Okay, with that, it is 8:30. I'm going. I will see you guys and gals at 3:30 for the afternoon coffee talk. We'll update with the latest model data. I'm on today, Wesh 2 News at noon and Wesh 2 News at 4. And we'll be tracking the tropics this week, okay? Good times. See y'all later. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.